Well, thank you very much for that kind introduction. It is a real thrill to be here and an honor. I had the pleasure of traveling to Indonesia as one of the first countries in Asia that I went to in my tenure as undersecretary, and so many amazing things are happening here that I was very honored to be asked to give some short remarks. So I would like to first extend a warm welcome to Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi, and to say that we are so happy about the excellent meeting that she had today with Secretary Kerry. And I'd also like to thank the U.S.-Indonesia Society for inviting me to speak tonight, and to recognize all the important work that they do to maintain the close partnership between the United States and Indonesia. There's a great deal to celebrate about our relationship and the close personal and business ties between our countries, which is evidenced here tonight. That's why I made it a priority to visit Indonesia when I did. Indonesia's success is important to the United States. We have a strong partnership that holds tremendous potential for growth in a number of different areas. Indonesia's dynamic economy already makes it an important destination for American companies and investors who have a long history of partnership there. Between 2004 and 2012, U.S. businesses invested more than $65 billion in Indonesia, making us one of Indonesia's largest investors, larger than Korea and China, for example. According to a study commissioned by the American Chamber of Commerce in Indonesia, U.S. companies directly employ about 200,000 Indonesians. But more importantly, the overall impact of their presence has meant an additional 1.7 million Indonesian jobs. Clearly, our partnership is robust. Yet, there is considerable room for growth. Our two-way trade last year was only about $28 billion. We'd like to see this number grow, and our companies certainly want to invest more in Indonesia under the right conditions. And that's why there's been so much enthusiasm for President Jokowi's commitment to fight corruption and improve governance. We are constantly looking for ways to break down barriers to increase trade and investment and to foster shared prosperity with all of our trading partners. As Secretary Kerry discussed with Foreign Minister Marsudi this morning, we're encouraged by the economic reforms President Jokowi is undertaking to strengthen Indonesia's private sector. President Jokowi reduced a popular fuel subsidy that had consumed 15% of the national budget and which now accounts for only 1% of the budget. He recently began the process of simplifying or removing numerous business regulations that hampered economic growth. And just last week, we held the latest session of the U.S.-Indonesia Trade and Investment Framework Agreement. Yet, it's evident that the U.S.-Indonesia relationship can blossom even further. President Jokowi could build on his initial reforms in several important ways. First, by ensuring the enforceability of contracts, moving away from the import substitution model, and reducing the negative investment list. As I mentioned when I visited Jakarta last spring, I met with entrepreneurs and government ministers who were enthusiastic about using technology to address some of Indonesia's most pressing challenges. I was struck by how Indonesia has embraced the internet like few other countries in the world. Jakarta is the world's Twitter capital. No other city on earth tweets as much as Jakarta. And seriously, and Indonesia has the third highest number of Twitter users on the planet. Indonesia also has the world's fourth largest number of Facebook users, and our embassy in Jakarta has one of the largest Facebook and Twitter followings of any foreign post. The internet entrepreneurs I met with told me they are trying to create a Silicon Valley mindset in the vibrant tech startup communities around Jakarta and Bandung. They believed rightly in my opinion, that the kind of reforms I mentioned earlier would enable their promising startup ecosystems to take off. The potential certainly exists. Google, Facebook, and Apple have all recognized this and each have opened our offices in Jakarta. In fact, there's almost unlimited interest from American companies to bring their technological know-how to the Indonesian market. For instance, some cities in Indonesia have high internet penetration rates. Far too many Indonesians still lack basic internet access despite that. There are scores of American technology companies that would be interested in helping Indonesia to address this challenge. Similarly, Indonesia has 40% of the world's potential geothermal resources. President Jokowi has called for adding 35 gigawatts of new electric capacity, and 40 American companies formed a power working group to propose solutions to support Indonesia in addressing this need for electricity. As an island nation, Indonesia's abundant fisheries provide more than 3 million people with their livelihood. But Indonesia loses up to $5 billion every year due to illegal, unregulated, and unreported fishing. When it comes to managing fisheries, there are American companies that specialize in providing electronic tracking systems, satellite data, and other technology that deters IUU fishermen. Let me add that I applaud Minister Susi, who is the fisheries minister, her efforts to address not only illegal fishing, but also ocean pollution and waste management. And it's been a privilege to work with her on these issues. The steps President Jokowi and his administration have taken during their first year in office have sent important and positive signals to the international community and investors everywhere. Indonesia's economy has shown remarkable resiliency in bouncing back from the worldwide economic slowdown and returning to nearly 5% growth. There are and will continue to be significant new opportunities for businesses to prosper in Indonesia, and I look forward to working with the government of Indonesia and all of you to create the regulatory and policy environment that can lead to increased growth for both of our economies and for the U.S.-Indonesia relationship. Thank you very much.